everyone, welcome to Thursdays at 3. I'm your host here at the Amarillo Little Theater. My name is Jason Crespin. It is Thursday, December 15th, already halfway through December. Hopefully, everyone has done all their Christmas shopping and is ready for to celebrate the new year. I can't believe it's December 15th, y'all. The month has flown right on by. We, of course, have been super busy here at the theater. Right now, in some sort of existence, we have 3 shows that are going on, and then, of course, we have another show waiting in the wings to start the auditions at the beginning of next year. So it's a busy time at the theater, but it's a great time at the theater. Hopefully, everyone is having a great holiday season. We're gonna have a great show today. We have some fantastic volunteers, amazing actors from our production of Elf the Musical. But before we get to them, we want to remind you about what's going on at ALT. We had a great, of course, it's been a busy week. We had a great kickoff to the week as our Showstopper Show Choir. They had their kind of winter holiday showcase. That was on Monday. I got to go to attend. These kids did an awesome job. They performed over at the Adventure Space, of course, led by Michaela Guerin, our Academy Director, and Academy Music Director Brandon Beller, who in fact had a role in the showcase. That hoodie right there, pretty fantastic. We thought, man, that's a keeper right there, Brandon. So kudos to you guys, and of course our showstoppers. They did a great job performing some great holiday songs, and they in fact are raising some money. They are headed to, I believe, Universal in to compete in a competition in the spring. So this kind of kicked off their fundraiser for that. So yeah, they did a great job. So good job, everyone. Speaking about the Academy, we of course want to remind you that our Academy Spring registration is underway right now. In case those of you who have yet to register, don't forget, register for your spring classes. Of course, you can also sign up for, or you can sign somebody else up for a class if you're looking for a great holiday gift. Maybe you're looking for something special, something unique to give the grandkids, or even for yourself. We have great adult classes, dance classes, theater classes, the whole 9 yards. So our spring registration is underway right now. Don't forget, Academy classes begin January 17th. I'm looking that up just to make sure. Yep, January 17th. So still some time to register for some classes. Some of them have already started filling up though. So call our box office or visit the website, of course, AmarilloLittleTheater.org. But you can always call the box office there. Give them a ring. They'll let you know what classes are still available to sign up for. Hugh says the kids did so great. It's so true, Hugh. Of course, Mabry, Hugh's daughter, was a showstopper, or is a showstopper that was in the show. But I agree. I thought they all did absolutely excellent. Also, rehearsals have begun for the Adventure Space musical. If Then they've started some blocking or some movement rehearsals. They've hit the ground running. Of course, that show will open in February, but they've gotten some rehearsals in this week, which is great. And then I have been busy. In fact, we had a Sunday matinee that started at 2:30. We wrapped up about 6 o'clock by the time everyone finally left. And I was back at the theater at 7 o'clock for rehearsals for Clue. And we've had rehearsals Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night. I'm telling you right now, this cast is, man, they're working hard. They're working so hard. Some scenes that they have a lot to do in these scenes, but they're doing great. So Clue rehearsals, of course, that show will open January 19th through the 29th. So just around the corner. And then, of course, if you are looking for that great holiday gift in our ALT season calendar, don't forget that right on the inside is our season ticket packages. You can still get season ticket packages all the way until December 31st. Call our box office. They can help you out. You can also order these online. So still season ticket packages available for any of you shoppers that are looking to do some last minute shopping, but yet still support the theater. Get people season ticket packages. You can also add to your own season ticket packages. If you've run out, maybe you've used them all up for Elf, and you're like, man, I still want to see Clue, still want to see the Academy production of Cinderella, want to see Beautiful in the spring, These Shining Lives, If Then, The Father, all the great shows coming up in the spring still. So definitely look at that. And speaking about this weekend, volunteers, we are still in need of a handful of volunteers for this weekend. It looks like we are in need of one concession worker tonight for the Thursday show, one concession worker for Friday night's performance, And y'all, we still need 3 concession workers for Saturday night at 8 o'clock. So if you want to help us out, give us a call. Let Lissa know, our volunteer coordinator. You can email her there, lissa@amarillo.littletheater.org, or call 806-355-9991. In fact, let me put this on our little thing here. Let me save that, and boom, there it goes. Thursday night, 1 concession, Friday night, 1 concession, Saturday evening, 3 concessions. So if you can help us out, let us know. I edit that because it still has a comma at the end, and I want it to look better. There we go. Just let Lissa know, call her at the box office, or shoot her an email. All right, y'all. It is time. It is time to talk about Elf the musical. If you've not heard, of course, we're producing this big holiday musical. We're pulling out all the stops. We have great merchandise. If you've already come seen the show, you know what we're talking about. We have this awesome merchandise that's for sale in the lobby. We have t-shirts. I think we just have size small t-shirts in adult and size large in kids, I believe. Still have some koozies, still have some elf kits, some elf ears. So as you come to the theater tonight or this weekend, be prepared to purchase some great elf merchandise. We, of course, have our concession as well. There's our prices for the merchandise concession. We have great Nice Punch. Our specialty cocktail is Naughty Punch. So a lot of great things going on with our show. Some of the best things that are going on in the show are the 5 people that I have joining me today. I'm going to bring them on. We have sharing the role of Michael, Atticus and Graham. Hey, guys.
Hello. How you doing?
I've missed y'all. I haven't seen y'all in forever.
Well,
Notice they didn't say they missed me. All right, thanks, Atticus and Graham.
We miss you so
No,
much.
you're good. You're good. You guys have been busy with school all that time. Let's see if I have better luck. We have Joanna. Hey, Joanna.
I've missed you, Jason.
Just perfect on cue. Well done. You knew your line. What about Gabe? Let's see. How are you doing, Gabe?
Hey, y'all. I missed you too, buddy.
See,
Okay,
Gabe, he was listening in the wings and he knew what to say. Atticus and Graham were like, nope. And then I think backstage also, let's see if we can bring him in. I think I have potential. Oh, maybe not. Jeff Wyrick is in limbo. You know, he's a busy man. Jeff Wyrick, are you there, Jeff Wyrick? Do we have you? Do you have a connection?
Come on,
Oh.
Jeff.
No, we'll just have. If not, it'll just be like a painting of Jeff Wyrick in the background of our conversation for today, which is always great. I love that. I think we could paint that. That should be the next ALT portrait in the lobby that we auction off for funds. I'm gonna pull you out for a second, Jeff, to see if that fixes it. I can see you backstage if you move around. Oh, move slightly. Nope, maybe I lost him. We'll see. We'll just leave it up there. First off, Atticus and Graham, remind us, you guys, of course, are Academy students. What grades are you all in?
5th.
We're in 5th.
5th grade.
Mhm.
Atticus, where do you go to school?
Canyon Intermediate.
Canyon Intermediate. Graham, remind us where you go to school.
I go to St. Andrews.
St. Andrews. Good old St. Andrews. Oh, no, and now I lost Joanna. Oh, but now we're getting Jeff Wyrick back. Oh, the moving of Jeff Wyrick. Hey, Jeff.
Is that better?
So much better. Yes. Somewhat.
Okay,
Somehow
good.
we it's like we traded Jeff for Joanna, but I think Joanna's headed on way back. There she is. Yay! We have everyone back.
All right.
Fantastic. The joys of nonprofit. Ooh, now Joanna might be. Oh, for first split second, I thought you were still Joanna. I thought you were also going to be a life-size painting for us in our StreamYard today, in our Thursdays at 3. As I have you guys, Hugh says that, it's my boys. Good to see y'all, and my assistant and my boss. How great are these folks? Santa, I know him. I love it. Yes, let's talk about real quick. So Atticus and Graham, you share the role, of course, of Michael Hobbs. Gabe is main role is Mr. Greenway, although he does play a handful of ensemble roles throughout the show. A New Yorker, an ice skating rink attendant, which a lot of people didn't know that's what he was in the scene.
Yeah.
Some cast members were like, "What's with the scary, creepy guy in the corner?" Which I love. Of course, Jeff Wyrick as our Santa and Joanna Kimball as Deb, the assistant. Let's go around real quick. We already talked about Atticus and Graham. You guys, of course, go to school. Gabe, what do you do whenever you're not at ALT?
I'm an estimator for a commercial cabinet company. I work from home.
And it's what is that like? You basically help people know if they're going to get some cabinets, what that will all entail. Is that correct?
Yeah, I put the package together, the budget, the material, present it to them. Hopefully they like the price and the product and the company. And then if we get awarded the project, we'll draw it up and put it through production and hire a team of installers and install it.
That's awesome. Gabe is an amazing carpenter. Many of his skills were put to good use in our show. In fact, his carving skills were put to good use. Those of you who know our show know a character. I'm not going to give it away because in case anyone's watching, but right away at the very beginning, a character makes its entrance from the orchestra pit, and that was all because of Gabe, which is very exciting. Jeff Wyrick, when you're not at ALT, gracing the stage with your brilliance, what do you do?
I sell beef.
Just on the side of
in
the
the cow
road,
business.
just handing out beef jerky. What are you?
I sell beef for Cavaness, a
Yes.
locally owned, family owned meat packer. So
Right now, is it crazy busy because of the holidays? Like, do you have
it
like
is.
a busy time?
It is. It's busy, but then we have a lot of disruption. I mean, people are going dark for the holidays, closing for the holidays, and then we've got winter storms that are wreaking havoc on supply chains. So yeah, it's interesting time of year, to say the
Oh, I'm
least.
sure. I can't even imagine. I'm sure.
Yep.
And then Joanna, I know her internet is going in and out. We'll see if we can get her back. But you guys, of course, have all been there. Wait, do we have Joanna? Joanna, are you there? Hello, Joanna. We can see Joanna, but we cannot hear Joanna. Joanna, I'm going to pull you out for a second and see if that helps fix it. Let's see. Well, real quick, as you guys are, have had a couple of days off, how has your break been? Have you guys been able to get some rest? Maybe get some homework done, Christmas shopping? What have you guys been doing on your break?
I've just been having to catch up on a lot of stuff because I was sick for a few days and I had to catch up on that. And I have this report on a soccer player and had like 3 big tests that I had to do. So it was a lot, but it was fun, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not getting caught up on homework. What about you, Graham? Obviously, you had to go back into your wardrobe and get your most amazing Christmas clothes back out to wear.
Sorry. I'm gonna be honest. I cannot hear you.
You can't hear. What have you been up to, Graham?
My internet
Graham,
connection.
what have you been up to on this break, Graham?
What I do when I'm just gonna say what I do when I'm not playing a role. I go hang out with my grandma. I eat dinner at her house, and but most of the time I'm usually because she's crew and she's up there too.
Yeah. Graham's whole family is involved in the show, and so when he's not in the show, he's back up at the show, watching the show, which has been a lot of fun. Gabe, what about you? Have you been able to have a good break this past couple of days?
Not too bad. Been a busy week work-wise, but I've been able to get a little bit of rest, so I'm ready.
Good. Yeah. What about you, Jeff?
Yep, ready. Working hard, getting a lot of stuff in while I can, because these next few days is not not a lot of meat left on the bone, so to speak. But it's
sure.
fun. I went for a walk this morning, went through my lines, and just kind of got ready again. It's a lot of times difficult to come from time off. You kind of hit that Thursday a little flat-footed, so I'm ready tonight. I am ready. Yes, sir.
And that's something to point out. You guys have been doing the show, and then you do get time off where you got to think, okay, how do I get back? How do I gotta get back into the groove of things, going over those lines and all that good stuff for sure. We keep getting Joanna, and then she keeps going away. Poor Joanna. Joanna, can you hear us? We can see you, Joanna.
I will say that real quick. Whenever I walk into the stage door and I see Gabe in his red outfit, it makes me ready to go.
Yeah, Gabe is there. Gabe is, I think, one of our first ones at the theater, and he is ready to
greets
go
me every time. I'm like,
I
God,
love that.
it's
So
game time.
true. Yeah, that's when you know we're ready.
That's
One of
right.
our amazing Academy alumni say, Grayson Darrington there says, can't wait to see this at the final performance. Break all the legs this weekend. Thanks so much, Grayson. We can't wait to see you and can't wait for you to see the show as well. I think we can hear Graham, I think. Maybe not. Graham, I know we can. Graham, your video is out, but we can still, there you go. There you go. I think we can still hear you, Graham, even when you go off like that, if you want to answer any of these questions. I want to ask real quick, Gabe, because Gabe, this is your first show at ALT. What made you think, oh, I want to audition for Elf the Musical?
This question has a lot of parts, but briefly, I've just missed theater for a long, long time. Something I've been wanting to get back into. I've been wanting to get back to Amarillo for a while, and now that I'm here, I figured I'd take advantage of it. I came and watched Shrek back in the summer, and just really enjoyed it, and said to myself, what are you waiting for? Let's do it. So I went for it.
Yeah. Well, and Gabe, you've jumped like headfirst in, like, gosh, you have been a part of work calls. You've been helping, of course, as much as you can. And then, of course, on stage with the roles that you're playing. Gabe plays Mr. Greenway, which is the boss of Hugh Fristo's character, of course, Walter Hobbs, and somewhat of the villain, if you will. You definitely bring some conflict to the stage. How has that been bringing, you're not like the North Pole elves where you're happy all the time. You get to kind of show a different side of yourself in the show. How has that been portraying that character?
It's been a lot of fun because it's, there's a lot of happiness around in the production. And then this guy comes in with his, eye on money and could care less about the people. And, it's just been fun to play with that character and see how far I can take him without being too much. But it's been neat. It's been neat getting some reactions from folks, and it's fun to play the villain in a Christmas.
Heck yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, yeah, you're doing so well with that. Jeff, you are on the opposite side of the spectrum. You're a different kind of boss. You're a boss to a bunch of happy elves. You, of course, are the narrator of the show. Start the show off. How is this show? Well, first off, what made you want to audition for this show?
I typically will audition if I have kids that are auditioning, and my kids, they usually support me, and in fact, my daughter typically tells me what I'm going to sing for audition, and a song that's good for your range, and would be good for certain roles that I might be going out for. She wanted me to go for Walter in this production. After seeing Hugh's depiction, I'm very glad he got the role. This role for me, though, is fun because I don't do a lot of the heavy lifting that a lot of the cast does. In fact, my choreography is mostly just moving around. It's not necessarily dancing. That's good for me, and I feel like in my small but impactful role as narrator, I can lend a lot to those moments that I'm on stage, and I love playing. Man, there are worse gigs in the world than playing Santa, especially after the show. It's fun taking photos with kids and having them whisper in your ear is it's just a treat. Nothing I've ever thought that I'd be doing. And in fact, even when I saw that I got the role of Santa, it's beyond what I could have imagined. It's been very fun.
I love that. I love that. Shelly Stapp, one of our amazing supporters, says the show is fantastic. Made me smile. Smiling is my favorite. I love that. Mm-hmm. There's our buddy the elf. Ben Burke says you've got the stars of the show in one place. Ben, we have several of our amazing volunteers, and Joanna is still somewhere lost in the background. We're hoping to get her. We're hoping to get Joanna before the interview's done. Atticus and Graham, what made you guys both want to audition for this show?
Well, I thought it would be really fun to have my family, because my whole family was auditioning for the show, and uh, I thought it would just be fun to see some familiar faces and do great production with them.
Yeah, let's talk about your
Yep.
family real quick, Graham. So your sister Hannah is a North Pole elf with you, and then of course is a kid in the department store and things like that. Your dad, Gary Palmore, of course, has several roles in the ensemble. He's a Macy's elf. He's the fake Santa at Macy's. He is a picket pocket, if you will, who mugs children at the ice skating rink.
Yep.
He has tons of roles. He works at the office. And then your mom, Audrey, is running our sound effects for the show. So it's basically a whole family ordeal that you guys are all part of the show.
I guess the reason I joined was I loved the movie. I'd watched it like every year with my family, and I knew all the jokes and stuff, and I like singing, and I wanted my first big role. Guess that's why.
You're like, I'm going to do it, especially with this being the Academy collaboration. It's a great show for you guys to audition for and hopefully be a part of. Very, very true. Hugh says, I think they may be too much talent for Thursdays at 3 to handle. It's true that the internet just cannot handle all of this amazing Thursdays at 3 talent. And then he said, did Audrey audition? I missed her song, but I know she's got an amazing voice. Audrey did not audition, but it's true. Audrey does have Graham's mom. Audrey has an amazing voice as well. So maybe one day we can get her to audition for a show as well. Let's check in and see live report from Joanna, if Joanna's there. Nope, Joanna's still
She
lost.
is trying like crazy.
Yeah, she's still lost in that. Hopefully we'll get her. But we should say Joanna plays Deb, the secretary, and is hilarious. The comedic timing that she has in the show, kind of orchestrating all of the things in the office while orchestrating Buddy the Elf, especially when he gets to the office. It's pretty hilarious. Were all of you familiar with the movie before you auditioned?
Yeah.
Very. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's become, a holiday classic for sure. I think I was saying it's now, I feel like my generation's version of A Christmas Story, with the leg lamp and stuff like that. I feel like I quote Elf the movie more so than any other Christmas movie. Atticus and Graham, remind me, what classes are you both taking at ALT, and when did you start doing ALT Academy? Atticus, let's go with you first. Atticus, what classes are you taking, and when did you start?
I'm doing theater 2 with Joe, which is fun. And then I started last year, so 2021, with Tuck, and then I did Robin Hood. And
Nice.
then
Yeah. So in your second season with us, Graham, what classes are you taking, Graham?
What classes are you taking? Oh, I started in 2018. I think it was 2018. With my first show was Frozen, and I've been taking Miss Joe's class, and I'm pretty sure I've been doing that ever since this year. And then Mr. Newman showed up, and I decided to take his class, and it was super fun.
Nice, yeah. Graham, of course, was a hidden folk member, if you will, kind of the equivalent of the troll characters that are in Frozen. That was his first show with a fun production number. So Graham definitely knows about doing a big sold out Christmas show because, gosh, Frozen was one of those for us as well. What I want to find out for you, Jeff, being Santa, you have a lot of responsibility, especially after the show. How do you handle meet and greet? Because there are definitely, some patrons who don't realize you're Jeff Wyrick. They're very adamant about, oh my gosh, I'm getting to meet Santa. How do you balance that?
I think you assume everyone thinks you're Santa, for one, because I have been, and I think it's part of it is just you stay in character the whole time. I mean, you speak in the same voice that you're speaking on stage. You keep your beard on. I think I one of the last weekend shows, I was sitting there. It was the Saturday matinee, is what it was, and I was looking around the room, the busy Turk lobby, and I noticed all these little eyes that were peeking at me from around mommy's dress or over daddy's shoulder, and
Yeah.
shy little kids that were just kind of afraid to step up to me, and so I would, getting down on their level and waving to them, welcoming them. I think is real important. You can't turn off, because you could potentially be treading on thin ice,
Sure.
and
Yeah, for sure.
so I try to be as accommodating. It's very hot, and I've been very verbal about how hot it is when I'm coming out of there, because you're on stage in this. It's not just the suit; it's the beard, it's the wig, it's the hat, and just try to keep your composure and put in another extra 20 minutes and try to make it as special as possible. So
Yeah, no, you guys, I mean, the amount of work that you guys do and the heat that those costumes kind of trap in that heat, very much so. There's a great picture of you there, Jeff, with our, of course, buddy,
that's
the
a
elf.
good one.
Again, there's, of course, our buddy with Walter Hobbs. Picture of Atticus there as
Atticus.
With his family, of course. A great picture there with Graham as well. Super fun. But yeah, you guys are all, I think, absolutely killing it, and it's going to be so much fun going into this final weekend, knowing that this show has encouraged so many people in our community, brought so much joy, and basically making holiday memories for sure. Atticus and Graham, you both have a distinct kind of bragging rights, if you will, because you guys are the only cast members that have been able to watch the show, because you guys, of course, are splitting the role on your nights off. You're able to watch it. How has that been? I know you guys have had a lot of work to do because you guys are splitting the role, but what's it like getting to also watch the show?
I get to see the projections.
Yeah, a lot of our cast members have yet to see projections of what's on the wall that they're dancing around or looking at. It's true. You guys get to see the amazing projections that Dennis Humphrey, of course, designed. Graham, what about you? What's something that you like about being able to watch the show?
I definitely like being able to see what Atticus does, and maybe I can learn something from him, and maybe I can add that to my performances that I get to do next time. And sometimes I get to review maybe if I messed up on something on my performance. My mom will definitely help me out. She'll point out things, and then I can just like improve a little. And it's just also fun to see just the show from like the best view, in my opinion.
No, yeah, very true. The light booth there, I think, is the best seat in the house to watch a show, because you get to see everything. You get to see the formations of the dances and stuff like that. And Atticus and Graham, you guys have both done really well, especially with rehearsals. You guys kind of would tag team in and out, like, okay, I got this scene last time, you get this scene this time, and back and forth, but have always been so encouraging, especially backstage, to one another. And then you're right, getting to watch each other and go, oh, that's a cool interpretation. I feel like you both play the character different, but both are equally as strong, and both are your own show. Atticus, you have your own character, and Graham, you have your own character, which I think is great. And Ben also, he says, honored to be a part of such an amazing cast. It's very true, very true. Let's check in with Joanna. Joanna's still in a blizzard. It's a horrible blizzard where she's at. It's very dark. The lights have been turned off there, and we'll hopefully she'll get back soon. Gabe, for you, with being the new person, what was it like, kind of going into those first rehearsals, going into dance rehearsals, vocal rehearsals? With all these people, some of which were also new, but some of which have been in shows for a while. What was it like being the new guy?
So, me being the early bird that I am, I was one of the first to show up for the audition. And so I was the first to write my name on the sheet. And I was like, no big deal. My last name's Sherman. I'll be one of the last to get called. Well, I wasn't. I was the first to get called. So I was like, here we go. So I got up there, and before I got up there, I was just, sitting in the seats there, just surrounded by enormous talent. And I thought to myself, well, you're here, go for it, give it everything you got. You never know. So I did, and you called me back, And then that Friday, when I saw the cast list, I about jumped through the roof. I was so excited. But I've never danced before. I'm sure nobody can tell, because I'm really picking it up. But
you're doing great.
Dancing is something I've never done, but singing, I've done a lot of singing over the years. But it's such a big treat and honor to be a part of this, to be a part of the theater, to meet all these cool kids and awesome cast members and crew folks. It'll be stamped in my memory forever because it's been 30 years since I've been on stage before this. So
wow,
very,
so
very
awesome.
memorable. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. I underestimated how much work it was going to be, I'll be honest. But
yeah,
it's and that's been a cool part too, is watching how far we've come in 6 weeks before we opened. I mean, how many people do we have on the cast and crew?
Oh gosh, so there's I think 34 in the cast. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the booth, 2 in the spot ops. We have about 5 running through. So yeah, it's close to 60 people when you count in the orchestra and all of those members as well.
Yeah, and to turn all that around, to bring all those folks together under great direction by you and Jen and Christine. It's just been neat to watch, and I can't wait to see the whole production.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yes, I think we just got Joanna. Joanna, are you there? No. I feel like we had Joanna for 2 seconds. Oh, there she is. Maybe we can hear her. Can we hear her? Can we see her? We can see her blink.
Yeah.
We're so close. I feel like we're so close, Joanna.
So close.
I don't think she can hear us. Oh, yes. Okay, Jeff, I know you got to go. We'll see you later, Jeff. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, can I say one thing?
Yes, sir.
Real quick, I think it's important going into the final weekend. Anyone that does not need their tickets, there are people that are wanting to see it. So please make sure you contact the box office. They'll tell you how to go about getting rid of them. And for those who have not seen it that want to see it, get on that wait list so we can exchange those tickets. Make sure as many people can see it as possible.
Very true. Wise words, Jeff. Yes.
Hey, thanks. Love y'all.
Expand on that. Thanks.
Right,
bye, Jeff. Thanks so much. Yes, just like Jeff was talking about, those of you who are like, man, I didn't get my tickets in time. I heard it sold out. A couple of there's that dancing Gary Paul. I was wondering where he was. I love it. For those of you who have not done a show with Gary Paul, just be ready for anything at any point. It's going to happen.
Antics abound with Gary Paul around.
Yes. But those of you who are like, man, I wish I could come see this show. Guess what? There's still a possibility that you can. Basically, the best bet right now is to come to the theater about an hour before any of our show times. So tonight our show starts at 7:30. Come to the box office at 6:30. Anytime after that is great. But there's Hannah following suit. Graham's like, get out of here. We love you, Hannah. But those of you get on what's called the standby list. That's different than the wait list because it's just for that specific show at the box office at an hour before the show starts. Get on the standby list, go get some Jason's Deli, go get a glass of wine at Crush, go get some Palace coffee. You'll come back about 10 minutes before the show starts, and any tickets that get turned back at the window, we are then able to resell at the window. Y'all, we had 12 tickets turned back into us that didn't get used, like on a Saturday matinee. So we want these tickets to be used, but we want you guys to be able to come and see the show. So we're telling everyone the best bet is come an hour before the show, and again, get on the standby list. And then just like Jeff was saying, if there's anyone that's coming to see the show, maybe you have to go out of town last minute, maybe you have sadly fallen ill, you can't use your tickets, call the box office, let them know. We have wait lists. In fact, today we were calling people, getting people off of the wait list to come see the show. We want people to see the show, and there's tons of people who can't. So we want, if you can, turn those tickets back in. If you want to come see the show, get back on that standby list. Joanna was able to answer. She said, "I'll watch the podcast from here. Nothing else worked." We love you, Joanna. If you want to comment anything. In fact, Joanna, if you'll comment, tell us what one of your favorite things about doing this show has been, and I'll pop it up as a comment. Carla says, "Poor Graham, having to deal with all those bystanders back behind you. Man, there were so many people interfering with your performance or with your Thursdays at 3. You had a dancing man and a little girl come by, give you hearts." Graham's like, "The story of my life. Story of my life." Atticus, Graham, I want to find out from you guys real quick, and then I'll ask Gabe. But Atticus, let's start with you. What is one of your favorite parts of the show that you are not in?
Nobody cares about Santa.
Nobody cares about Santa. That's a fan favorite. I feel like at least within the cast for sure. A lot of people love that number. It starts off Act 2. It's just a fun number, and I think the fun part of that number too is it's not in the movie. So much of our musical follows, of course, the movie, but because that's not in the movie, I think it surprises the audience and they have a good time. Graham, what about for you? What is one of your favorite parts of the show that you're not in?
Hello?
Oh, I'm not in?
Yeah.
Definitely the Santa scene. Nobody cares.
Santa scene as well. Nobody cares about Santa. Yeah, everyone loves that number. It's such a fun number. What about you, Gabe? What's a number or a moment that you're like, I love that part of the show?
The Santa scene, definitely, but there's a scene where Matthews and Chadwick are pitching to Hobbs,
Oh, yeah.
and one of our amazing cast, the pointing. And I mention this to him every time we do the show. He'll point, to everybody. That tickles me every time. It's just such a funny little scene, and just the way those two collaborate together, and then Hobbs just shuts them down. So
Very true. Very true. Yes. Dylan Kazar, Holton Harada playing those two roles. And you're right. All of those little details are some of my favorite things as well. Joanna says her favorite number is, of course, Nobody Cares About Santa. She says it's the best. She also says she loves getting to work with so many outstanding performers. These people love what they do, work hard, and they are constantly improving. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in our performances this week. It's so true, Joanna. Everyone just keeps putting in the work, and it's certainly paying off as well. And we have to remind our patrons and everyone watching that everyone is local talent and they're volunteering their time. Nobody's getting paid. They still have to get up to go to school. They still have to get up to go to work and all of those things. And they're doing a great job. Sarah Nixon, who's the mom of one of our cast members, says this show is outstanding. Great job, cast and crew. Can't wait for the last weekend of shows break legs. I know it's so hard to think that, man, we're already here at the final weekend, 5 more shows, and it's going to be, another memory for us with our great history at ALT. But this show certainly is a special show for sure. Carla says, I want to be in the office party scenes. They look so fun. So true. The office party scenes are pretty intense. They're definitely having a party in those scenes. I love that. I also, if any audience members get to come see the show this weekend, just be on the lookout for Gabe's glasses. Gabe's glasses in the show as Greenway are one of my favorite costume pieces, and of course his ties are pretty cool. His bow tie, and then his other tie is Greenway. Also look for those his overalls in a very important ice skating rink scene. Those are also pretty classic. Yeah, pretty. Graham and Atticus, your mom is here. She says, hello, my favorite people. Good old Jerry Tidmore, of
Hi,
course, playing
Jerry.
Emily.
Hello,
Hobbs.
Jerry.
Joanna, another question for you, if you can comment below as well, is Joanna, of course, has been a part of ALT for quite some time. I want to know, Joanna, why you decided to audition for Elf the Musical. If you can let us know by commenting below. Atticus, Graham, Gabe, what were some of the challenges with this show that maybe surprised you that you didn't think that were going to be as difficult or maybe as time consuming or whatever? What were some challenges that popped up that you thought, oh, I wasn't ready for that, and of course was able to overcome before the performance was here? Let's start with Gabe. Gabe, any challenges for you that you thought, oh, I wasn't realizing this?
Absolutely. The dancing, I had no idea how the rehearsals are going to be structured, and it makes sense now. So getting the dancing down and getting over my nerves over that, watching myself in the mirror in the dance studio was a little like yikes. So a few of us guys that don't have as much experience with dancing as some of the other folks in the show, during rehearsals, we were like, well, at least we're on the back row. Nobody can see us. Well, that kind of changed. And so having to get forced, and I'm glad it happened. I'm glad I was forced out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because that made me just challenge myself to dig deep and just do the best I can. And like you and Christine are so very encouraging. You're like, you know what, just have fun, make big moves. So it's easy to perform well when we have such positive leadership. So
well, you guys, I mean, everyone is doing such a great job, and gosh, you definitely, everyone has put in the work, and it has certainly paid off so well. Graham, for you, what was there anything challenging for you that popped up that you didn't realize was going to be as challenging?
Well, when I was listening to the music before my audition, I was just listening to my 2 duets with my mom, and those high notes got me. I was not expecting it to be that high.
Yeah.
I eventually got used to it, but at first that singing, it was, I had to practice.
Well, and it's funny when you think about listening to, soundtrack or something like that, but then when you actually have to do it, you're like, whoa, like I've been in those shoes before where it's like, okay, oh, I got to sing that now. Okay. Okay, here we go. But yeah, you guys have nailed that every night, which has been awesome putting in that work. Atticus, what about for you? What was a challenge that popped up for you?
Lots of things with costumes. Like in Act 2, I'm underdressing for the finale, and I get super hot in that. That is hard. And quick changing for the finale, just changing into that is scary.
There was definitely a time when Atticus was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to wear when. And like, he was like, I need help. Like, I need to know what, where, when. Are we inside? Are we outside?
I had like a dream once. It wasn't that long ago where like I did the quick change too long and I missed my scene. And that was something.
Oh, we've all had scary dreams like that. Michaela says you both killed those high notes. And she would know. She can sing pretty well. Jared Timor was giving you some props there. You're killing it, Grambo. Don't worry about those notes. Okay, this in response to why Joanna auditioned, she says, laugh aloud because I promised my voice teacher I would audition for everything this season. Also, I've learned this season that auditioning at ALT is fun. The environment is super supportive, and sometimes we have big laughs. It's so true. It's so true. Audition can be scary, and we hopefully will always provide a fun atmosphere and a positive atmosphere for anyone who comes to audition, because it can be very, very scary and just kind of unnerving for sure. And then Joanna says, laugh out loud when you dream theater. Yeah, we've all had dreams before. I still have dreams where I will come to the theater and I'll open the shop door and the show has started, and it's a show I did like 5 years ago. And they're like, we're doing that show again tonight. And I'm like, nobody told me. So I'm running to the dressing room, putting my costume on, trying to remember lines. That's my go-to dream that I have quite often, is the performance dream. Real quick before I wrap up, what does it feel like, Graham and Atticus, you guys have done shows before at ALT, at least in the academy. Gabe, with this being your first show, Joanna, answer this as well. What's it like being in a show that before you opened sold out all 13 shows, made history for the theater, bringing families, making their holidays happen, making core memories at the theater? Like, it's a big show. I'm out and about and everyone's like, man, I wish I could see it, or I saw the show with my whole family, and from 7 to 77 we all loved it. Like, what is that feeling like for you guys who are coming out on the stage to perform this show each night? Atticus, let's start with you.
It feels great because we can show all the people who are coming how much talent all of the cast has, and that we're and it's just cool because we get to show it to more people than usual and just gets to go around more.
Yeah, we're the amount of people that are coming through our doors. We talked about this. The amount of people that are seeing this show alone are it's more than what saw the whole entire season of ALT 30 years ago. You know what I mean? That saw 5 shows. And that's pretty spectacular to think about. Gabe, what about for you? You know, being the new person, and it's like, here you go, you're in this big holiday hit.
So yeah, so it sold out before we even did our first show, really. And so that means that there's a lot of people that have faith that it's going to be a great production.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I need to take that seriously and really challenge myself to just have fun. You guys have mentioned several times, we know the show. Now let's have fun with it. So
Yeah.
I love the thinking that maybe there's somebody bringing their family that had a rough day or a rough week or a rough year. And they come in and they watch our show and they laugh and they kind of just let go. Just let go of all that stuff that's bugging them or, you know, that we carry around, and just leave it at the door and come in and have some fun with us. And, you know, it's up to us to deliver. And so we've got one more weekend to do just that. And I hope we can make it even bigger than it has been.
Agreed. No, 100% agreed. Graham, what about for you?
Sorry, it's the audio. Sorry. What it's like being on stage? Sorry. The question, what's it like being on stage? Or like going out?
Going out and to this, being a part of a show that has sold out all 13 shows before it even opened. What's that feeling like going out there?
Yeah. Well, kind of like what Gabe said. Yeah, I get to show the audience a good time, and just going out there and just performing and being happy all the time and singing to the highest notes, and just it's all worth it for that smile that I see that little kid. It's all worth it for when I see that little kid just like light up, or when I see that old lady just like clapping for us during the finale, or when a grown man who's stressed out with work just comes and then you can put a smile on his face. It's just it's just so much fun to do.
Yeah, it's the best feeling. And like you're saying, Graham, also some of these audience members, this is their very first show. Some of these kids have never experienced live theater before. They hear theater. I said this in Magic Circle the other day. They're thinking they're coming to a movie theater to watch the movie Elf, not realizing this is going to be live people and have the first theater experience ever be this show, which is so cool. And on top of that, to see kids like Atticus and Graham, to see kids like you guys on stage, for them to think, I could do this. I could go take classes maybe in the academy. I can learn how to sing. I can learn how to act. I can learn how to sing those awesome high notes, the whole 9 yards. And I can learn how to change costumes quickly backstage and be a part of the show, which I think is really cool. Joanna says, like you said, we're volunteers. I get paid in joy. The show, the sold out performances, that's huge joy. This is such a great community. This is so great for the community, and I love the energy from the audience. It's very, very true, Joanna. Jerry says, I'm a grown woman that is stressed out with work. Laugh out loud, and this entire cast put a smile on my face for the entirety of every single show. Being Graham and Atticus's mom has been an absolute blast. So true. And then Carla says, why am I crying? These boys are such pros. So true. So true. Michaela says, I saw one of my first graders at the show who said she now wants to audition for Cinderella. You inspire people. I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's our job as storytellers, is to tell the story and hopefully make people feel an emotion and be entertained and enlightened. And that's a huge responsibility that you guys have, and that Atticus, Graham, Gabe, Jeff, and Joanna, Jerry, all of you who are part of the show have been doing for the past 2 weeks, and we get to do it one more weekend with our 5 shows this weekend. Those of you who may be wondering if how to get tickets, of course, call our box office. and check out those stand or wait lists. But best thing to do, of course, is come by the theater an hour before the show. Get on that standby list. Reminder: shows this weekend are Thursday at 7:30, Friday 8 o'clock, Sunday at 2:30, as well as 8 o'clock, and then a Sunday final matinee at 2:30. Atticus, Graham, I know you guys got out of school a little early for this. Thank you guys for doing that. Gabe, I know took some time away from work to be a part of Thursdays at 3 today. We really appreciate that. Shout out to Jeff as well. Joanna, thanks for answering comments or answering my questions in the comments below. Sorry, our internet couldn't get you in. She says, I don't want the show to end, and I'm not the only one. Sad too. When we have a big show like this, it's so fun that it has picked up such great momentum, and it'll be a sad show for us to close out this weekend, but what a way to do it with sold out performances. Again, if you want to come see it, come get on that standby list. We promise we'll do everything we can to get you in to see this great show. Atticus, Graham, Gabe, Jeffrey, and Joanna, thank you guys for being a part of the show today. We'll see you in a couple hours when we have call time, and we'll hit the ground running with Elf the Musical. It's going to be a great weekend of shows. Cannot wait to see you guys again. And all of you on Thursdays at 3. Next week, we won't have Thursdays at 3 because we'll get ready for the holiday season. Look back, coming up, we will have more information about Clue. That'll be coming up just around the corner in January 19th through the 29th. If I don't see you at the show this weekend, we wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year as you guys are wrapping up the season. Don't forget, season tickets, you can still get them. That form is in our calendar. You can call the box office. If you get a chance, volunteer. We still need some people to help us volunteer this weekend with some ushering and with some concession stand workers, all that good stuff. And anyway, like I said, everyone have a great holiday season, and we'll see you guys soon. Gabe, Atticus, Graham, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much.
Hey, bye-bye.
Good night.